Hello students. Today I am going to discuss about the name of the foramina of the Norma Basalis interna and the structures which are passing through it. Okay. So this structure what you're seeing here, this is called as Crista Galli. Okay, this is called as Crista Galli. And the benefit of knowing this Crista Galli is it gives attachment to Fox cerebri, the one which separates the two cerebral hemisphere. Okay, on either side of Crista Galli, okay, on either side of Crista Galli, you will see some foraminae. Okay, you see some foraminae. This is present in the cribriform plate of ethmoid. Cribriform plate of ethmoid. So you have about 15 to 20 foraminae, and this is called as cribriform plate of ethmoid, the one which is open, giving this opening, cribriform, okay, form plate of ethmoid, okay, and the first nerve, the olfactory nerve, will arise from here. Okay, it arises from the roof of the nasal cavity and it comes to the surface. Okay, now this region what you're seeing, this is called as the anterior cranial fossa. Okay, this region is the anterior cranial fossa. Okay, so another nerve which comes out from the anterior cranial fossa is the optic nerve. Okay, the optic nerve, which is number 2. Okay, optic nerve for vision, and it passes through the optic canal. Can you see an opening over here? This is called as the optic canal. Okay, optic canal for the optic nerve. Optic canal for the optic nerve. Okay, now there is another opening which you cannot see from this view. Okay, but it is below this. This is called as the sphenoid bone, a part of the sphenoid bone. So this is the lesser wing of the sphenoid. Just below the lesser wing of the sphenoid, okay, over here you will see, you need to make an angle and see, you see a large opening, and this is called as superior orbital fissure. Okay, it's not a foramen, it's a large opening, so it's called superior orbital fissure. Okay, so through the superior orbital fissure you will have all the nerves which will enter into the orbital cavity. Okay, so we can see that what are the nerves, that you will have the third nerve, that is the oculomotor nerve. Okay, third nerve. Then you will have the fourth nerve, because it also supplies the superior oblique. Okay, so you remember the mnemonic SO4, right? SO4, superior oblique, supplied by the fourth nerve, SO4. Okay, so that will also pass through the superior orbital fissure. Then you also have, along with this, you can remember the sixth nerve. Okay, so the sixth nerve, that is the sixth nerve, which is called as Abducen Nerve, right? It is the Abducen Nerve. And what is the mnemonic? As it supplies the eye, it is called LR6. LR6. Okay, so superior oblique by the fourth nerve, LR6, that is the lateral rectus, supplied by the sixth nerve. Okay, and then you will have one more nerve, that will be the it's a part of the fifth nerve. So fifth nerve has 3 divisions. The fifth nerve is the trigeminal nerve. It has 3 divisions, which is called as the ophthalmic division, in a V1, we can write, and then we can say maxillary division, which is V2, and the third one is mandibular division, right? So the ophthalmic division of the trigeminal nerve will pass through the superior orbital fissure. Okay, so which division will pass? The ophthalmic division. Okay, so I'll just keep it. The ophthalmic division of trigeminal nerve will pass through the superior orbital fissure. So what are the structures which pass through superior orbital fissure? The third nerve, the fourth nerve, the sixth nerve, and ophthalmic division of the trigeminal nerve. Okay, you also have superior and inferior ophthalmic veins other than these nerves. Okay, so next we will look into the structures or the foramina of the middle cranial fossa. Okay, so this is the middle cranial fossa, what you're seeing. Okay, the middle cranial fossa. Okay, right, now in the middle cranial fossa, what you need to do is you need to see there are four openings. Okay, there are four openings. One is this large one which you're seeing here, right? So we can call it O. Okay, this is foramen ovale. Foramen ovale. It's O in shape, so it's foramen ovale. Then there is an opening over here, right anteriorly. There's an opening. Okay, so that is called as foramen rotundum. Foramen rotundum. Okay, then there is a foramen which is lateral to the foramen ovale. Okay, so we can call it as foramen spinosum. Foramen spinosum. And if you see from the Norma Basalis externa, you will see a spine. So that's why it's called foramen spinosum, very close to this region. And then you have a medial opening, you can see here, that will be foramen lacerum. Foramen lacerum. Okay. Foramen lacerum. Okay, we can just make it short. So we can remember the mnemonic ROSE, in order. R is for foramen rotundum, O is for foramen ovale, S is for foramen spinosum, and E is for foramen lacerum. Okay, now I'm going to tell you what are the structures which pass through them. Okay, so earlier I already told you that there is the trigeminal nerve which gives 3 divisions. Okay, now please imagine this area. Okay, over here I'm drawing it this side. So this area is the place for the trigeminal ganglion. Trigeminal ganglion. Okay, from the trigeminal ganglion it gives 3 division. Okay, the first division we already said, that is the ophthalmic division. Okay, ophthalmic division which goes in the superior orbital fissure. The second division, okay, it will go through foramen rotundum. Foramen rotundum. Okay, that is second division. V2 we can remember. Okay, this is V1, right, which will go through superior orbital fissure. Now we have V3 which will go through foramen ovale. V3 will go through foramen ovale. Okay, so let me tell you what are the 3 divisions of trigeminal. You have ophthalmic division which will go through superior orbital fissure. The maxillary division will go through foramen rotundum. Okay, and then you have the mandibular division which goes through foramen ovale. Mandibular division goes through foramen ovale. Is it clear? Okay, now foramen ovale, as it is a large opening, it has 4 structures which pass. Okay, there are 4 structures which pass through foramen ovale. So what are the structures which pass through foramen ovale? Are called as male structures. M-A-L-E. You can remember it. M-A-L-E. Okay, M for mandibular nerve. Okay, the 3rd division of the trigeminal nerve. Then A is for accessory meningeal artery. Accessory meningeal artery. It's an artery which will supply the meninges. L is for lesser petrosal nerve. Lesser petrosal nerve. E is for emissary vein. So on the whole we have 2 nerves, that is mandibular nerve and lesser petrosal nerve, 1 artery, accessory meningeal artery, and 1 vein, emissary vein. They all pass through the foramen ovale. Okay, foramen ovale has male structures. Clear? Now another important foramen, as you know, this is foramen spinosum, right? The one which is lateral to foramen ovale, foramen spinosum. Okay, so from foramen spinosum, okay, we have 2 structures. What are the 2 structures? Foramen spinosum. One is the middle meningeal artery, and the other structure is nervus spinosus. Nervus spinosus. So middle meningeal artery is the same artery which makes impression in the skull vault. Okay, so when you see the vault of the skull, you can sometimes see some impressions, and that is caused by the middle meningeal artery. Okay, even the epidural, okay, or extradural hemorrhage, if it occurs, it is usually due to injury to the middle meningeal artery. Okay, fine. Next, nervus spinosus is a nerve which supplies the meninges. Okay, so that's why the pain of the kind of headache, you will get it diffuse. Okay, next. Okay, next, going to next foramen, foramen lacerum. The foramen lacerum, there is no structure which passes through foramen lacerum. Okay, we just say that there is a nerve to pterygoid canal which passes through and through. Okay, fine. Now coming to the posterior cranial fossa. Okay, in the posterior cranial fossa, how do we identify? First, you know that this bone which you're seeing here, this bone, okay, is a part of the temporal bone. It's called as the Pitrus part of temporal bone. Okay, it's called as the Pitrus part of the temporal bone. Okay, so as you see, it is taking part in both. It takes part in, yeah, the anterior part of it is related to the middle cranial fossa, and the posterior part of it is related to the posterior cranial fossa. Okay, so if you would look on the Pitrus part of temporal bone, you will see a small opening over here. Okay, now this opening is called as internal acoustic meatus. Internal acoustic meatus or internal auditory meatus. Okay, so you can call it like that. And what are the structures which pass through internal auditory meatus? You have the we have finished with 6th nerve, right? So now we have the 7th nerve, that is the facial nerve, and the next one will be the 8th nerve, that is the vestibulo-cochlear nerve. Vestibulo-cochlear nerve. Okay, so they pass through internal auditory meatus, or internal acoustic meatus. Now further going down, you can see a little larger opening over here. Okay, this opening exactly, or this foramen exactly, is between the temporal bone and the occipital bone. Okay, so now this opening is called as jugular foramen. Okay, it's called as the jugular foramen. Okay, it's jugular foramen. So what are the structures which pass through jugular foramen? You have the, after the 8th nerve, you have 9th nerve, right? And then you have the 10th nerve, and you will have the 11th nerve. Okay, and you will have also the internal jugular vein. Okay, internal jugular vein, that's why the name is jugular foramen. Okay, now the last opening for the nerve will be this is foramen magnum, right? This large opening is called foramen magnum. So if you look on the lateral aspect of the foramen magnum, okay, you will see a canal. Okay, so that will be called as the hypoglossal canal. Okay, so the name of this canal is hypoglossal canal. Okay, hypoglossal canal. And this will carry the the 12th nerve will pass through it. The 12th nerve will pass through hypoglossal canal. Okay, then you should also know the structures which leave foramen magnum. Okay, you have the meninges. Okay, as it covers the brain and also covers the spinal cord, so meninges will leave. And then you also have arteries. You have the vertebral artery. Okay, and you have the spinal artery also, the anterior spinal artery also travels. And then you have, it is also the continuation of medulla oblongata. Okay, and then you also have some ascending fibers of the spinal accessory nerve. Okay, so this is all about the Norma Basalis interna, and you need to know the structures, the foraminae, and the structures passing through it. Okay, the name of the foraminae, the structures passing through it. Okay, I hope it is clear.